What's up? So I want to make a video for this part of the world right here. So these are the people I'm talking about. Also Albany, this area right here. Anybody, actually probably around this area. That's about, let's say, a 5-hour drive away from New York. In every direction you're looking at about five, maybe 3 or 4 to 5 hours, okay? Anybody who's about 3 to 5 hours away from New York, this video is for you. So now I'm going to start off the video, say the title of the video right off the bat, and that is, do not travel to New York City. Do not do it. I'm going to tell you from my experience why I'm saying this. I'm going to tell you first, too, other places you could go visit that are way better, way less traffic, just all around better. You just would be better off going here instead. So I'm going to start off and say Utica, New York. It might seem like a tiny little shithole, but it actually is a city too. And if you compare it to the size of, let's say, Boston, New York, which I did earlier in a video, Boston's actually pretty small when you realize the surrounding areas are cities, like Cambridge, that's its own city. The size of Boston is kind of almost like the same as Utica. Maybe it's a little bigger or whatever, but they're kind of almost like the same size. And when you look at it like that, like I do, you realize the surrounding areas are not cities. It's all green, open roads. You could go 55 miles per hour, no traffic at all, great breathing. You could actually breathe without it, suffocating you, without getting allergies or asthma. Unless you're allergic to the trees, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Air. Even if you are allergic to trees like I am, I'm allergic to a lot of trees around here, and I don't have any issues at all. It's just so healthy out here that you're more likely to feel good. You get that good breeze hitting your face, and you feel fantastic. And it's much better than being in New York City. So now, one of the places you could go visit, right here, Turnstone, if you come to this area, this is only a half an hour drive away. This is maybe one of the best resorts on planet Earth. You could go there, you could explore, it's a great place. Not too far away from there is two beaches. One you could pay to stay at, and one that you could just go to at any time and go to hang out at. You do have to pay to park over here. That's the only place in all of CNY you got to pay to park that I know of. And that's just because it's such a small, overpopulated area. Everybody wants to come here. If you're in this area, if you're in CNY, you probably want to stop here as well. Especially if you stop over here at the casino. This area is just better to come visit. It's better to drive in. It's better to commute in all the way around. Even taking the bus is easier here. It's easier. I've never taken the bus in New York City, so I don't know from experience with that. But I've seen it on a lot of movies and shows and stuff. It seems difficult to take the bus in New York City. I've looked at the routes of just Las Vegas, and their bus routes are crazy. I would have issues. And I noticed it takes a long time to commute. Like your bus route, it might take you an hour, 2 hours just to get from one end of the bus route to the other. In Utica, New York, the longest bus route goes from Utica to the Turnstone Casino. So you could actually get a bus from Utica all the way here for $3.50, and the bus is always empty pretty much. I mean, there's a lot of room for more people to come. This is a better place to live. This is a better place to visit. This is a better place to hang out at. This is just all around better of a place. Smaller cities are better. I don't know why we need giant cities besides to compete with giant countries like China. Besides for that, we don't need giant cities. If we had just a bunch of smaller cities all spread out, life would be so much better. Life would be so much better. You wouldn't get those beautiful views of giant buildings. All the buildings would be spread out, and it could kind of be like Turnstone, for example, where you got this random tower in the middle of the cornfield. Pretty much, I think it was a cornfield at one time in the past. You got this random tower in the middle of the cornfield. That's how it would be if every small city was to get bigger. It would almost feel like that, but it would just be better. It would be better living. Everything would be better. Now I'm going to tell you about my experience going to New York and why I'm saying all this, why I say it sucks so much, why I'm saying you shouldn't go there. Even on vacation, don't go there at all. It is a trap. You will regret it entirely. Now, first off, I'm going to talk about the drive. If you're as far as I am, that's a 4.5-hour drive. That is gruesome. It hurts your back. You might doze off on the road, which almost kills you and can make you go insane, by the way. You could go insane if you do that too much, because after a while you start to research about comas. Maybe one video on Facebook or YouTube will pop up and it'll scare you. You'll see some guy like Churdley, I think his name was, some comedian on Facebook, some blue-eyed, blonde-haired guy. He did this joke video about, he was like, "Wake up, you're in a coma, wake up." That scared the living shit out of me, because I used to do shrooms when I was a kid, and around the same time I went for these long drives, and it scares the shit out of me to think, what if I'm in a fucking coma? I don't think I am, but it just scared me to think, what if? Like, oh shit, that possibility of something that could be real that you wouldn't like. It's like saying, what if you're in hell? It's something you don't really believe in, but it's scary to think, man, what if? That's what's causing those damn Canadian fires. It's Satan. I'm just joking here, but, let me go on. The reason not to go to New York City, besides for the drive, let's see, what else? So, when I got to New York City, I noticed, I got there late, so it was dead. Nobody was driving around, nobody was outside, it was beautiful. It was actually probably the only time I would ever suggest to go. If you absolutely have to go, and there's no other ifs, ands, or buts about it, then you definitely should get there, before morning time. So before around, I think it was like 9, 10 in the morning, traffic just jumped out of nowhere. So, for example, I was all the way down here in Chinatown when traffic started to pick up, and I was heading this way and up here. So I think that's exact, actually, that was like the exact route I took, actually. Where am I? Oh, yeah. I think I took Canal Street out of there, and Canal Street was so packed up. You wouldn't expect a 3-lane road to be so packed that you can't drive. You had to sit there for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes at a time to wait for traffic to go. Even with green lights don't change anything. You have to wait for people to cross the road. You got to wait up ahead. Some guy got into an accident, and then there's so many different things going on. It is unbearable. It's something I wouldn't suggest a young adult to ever do in a million years, ever. I was a young adult when I did it. I was blessed by God. Maybe I actually am being watched over by angels or something, because I actually made it out of here alive. Thank God. I didn't get in any accidents or anything. And there was a lot of times people slam on their brakes. That's a whole other reason not to go. People will slam on their brakes when you're behind them. They want you to hit them so that way you end up having to pay for their new bumper. And they'll be going like 55 miles per hour and out of nowhere just slamming on their brakes. And thank God I'm a good driver. I didn't smash into them. It just happens so many times though. And when traffic gets this heavy where it's like there's a car after car after car, you literally have to cut people off. Like, so for an example, I'm going to draw, let's say you're this guy right here. You literally have to drive right here and cut this guy off just to turn if you need to turn. Because otherwise, right here, this is a bad example because this photo was taken early in the morning. But during heavy traffic times, there'd be cars here, cars all along here, a car right here, there'd be a car right here. I mean, it's that bad. So if you had to turn, there's no way you could just wait for this guy to go, because then this guy will go, and 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 you'll sit here forever. So you literally have to cut people off just to make a turn. You have to literally, like, I saw a joke video. Some guy opened up his door in front of another car so that way they would stop driving and they would be able to slip their car in, cut them off, and get in. There's cases where that stuff actually happens, and sometimes people will get out of their car. They'll have a passenger get out of their car and get in the way of, let's say for example, they're in this car, they'll get out of this car and they'll stand right here. And then once the green lights go, this car right here will go forward and then this car will sneak in. I mean, they literally will do that. And then as it sneaks in, this guy right here will jump back into the car. That's literally what they do. I didn't see it happening, but I guarantee you that's what they literally will do if they gotta. New York City people are shiesty like that. They do stuff like that all the time, I bet. And that would be illegal. That would actually be a legal move, I'm pretty sure. You can't have a passenger get out of their car and get in the way of impede traffic so that way you could cut in ahead of them. But it's going to happen. It's guaranteed going to happen. And that's the type of thing you expect in New York City. If you make it out of this city without getting into an accident, you might actually have an angel watching over you. Like, literally, I believe in God. I think it could be possible. There could be an angel watching over you because it's just that tight. There's that many douchebags that don't know how to drive, or that many scammers. I go on dating apps a lot, and I constantly get women trying to scam me on dating apps. I can never find a real woman. They're all scammers. I've had thousands and thousands in 1 month try to scam me. So it's so believable. To make it out of this city, you have to be, like, literally blessed by God. Without getting into an accident, without getting shot. But that's the whole other thing. I almost got shot because I was in my ex-girlfriend's red car, and some black people in a blue car pulled up. We weren't listening to rap music. I was looking like a nervous white guy. You know, I wasn't acting like a tough guy or anything. And they still were fucking with me, trying to start shit. They were like, yo, what the fuck? You almost hit our car. Which I didn't almost hit their car. They're full of shit. I remember exactly what happened. There were moments where I got, like, kind of close, but it wasn't anything like they were complaining about. They were just trying to start shit because I was in a red car. And they started freaking out, and they sped off. That was perfect. That was a perfect example of the type of people they are. They don't care about safety. They sped off, going like 50 and a 30, because I didn't want to fight him. Because he was saying something, I don't know what exactly he was saying. He was saying some scary stuff, and I was just like, dude, I don't know what to tell you, and I just rolled up my window and stopped talking to him. I was like, I'm sorry if I almost hit your car. I don't know what else to tell you, dude. I don't know. I'm not trying to fight you. And I just rolled up my window. It was something like that. So clearly the guy was trying to fight me. He was trying to start shit in the middle of the fucking road, a busy road. This is what they do. These scumbag terrorist gangsters, they'll do stuff like that. And that they're everywhere. They're in small cities. They're everywhere. So imagine giant cities. They're way worse. They're way worse in giant cities. I've never had that happen in a small city. Never. I drove her red car everywhere in this city. I drove her blue car. Nothing. Never had an issue like that. So it happens in big cities. That's a common thing because in big cities, gangs choose colors and you either get a blue car or a red car, and that's how it works in a big city. And when they see other people with those colored cars, they got to try to call them out to see, can I get his reaction? Can I get him to expose that he's a rival? So then they could know, am I his op or not? If I was his op, his opponent, he would want to shoot his gun at me. He'd want to kill me. That's what they do in big cities. You don't want to be here. Now, another thing about the city is you might think it looks beautiful in photos, but when you come here, it's an absolute dump. There is litter trash all over the fucking place. And to top it off, there are bikes chained up to every single post. Every single, everything. So let me go here. I don't know if this would be a good example because this is some random avenue. And the way I made it sound is it's everywhere. But it might actually be here too. Let's see. Oh yeah, yep. There's a bike right there just chained up to a random pole. That's just some random person's bike chained up to a random pole. Probably illegally done. And it's everywhere. That happens everywhere they do it. Look at all the graffiti. This is a dangerous, dangerous place. Look at all the tattoos this whore has. This is an incredibly dangerous place to be. This is not a place you want to live. This is not a place you want to go on vacation. Everyone who lives here says they want to make it out of the concrete jungle. Every single one of them say they want to make it out of the hood. They want to live somewhere better. They want to go out in the country and live in a townhouse where they don't hear their neighbor talking to himself all night long on a video. Because I'm saying that because I live in a small city, and even here in this small city, you can hear everything your neighbor does. So imagine in a bigger city, you wouldn't be able to sleep. You would not be able to sleep at all. At all. Because there wouldn't just be me talking. There'd be people screaming outside, out in the road. There'd be people partying. There'd be people all over the place making noise. At all hours. At all hours. That's not a place that you could get a good night's rest. If you get a hotel here, you'll be lucky if you get a good room that is silent. Sometimes good hotels, they might put soundproof walls in and stuff, soundproof insulation. If not, you're going to be waking up every hour in this overcrowded shithole city that has nothing good in it whatsoever that I could think of. Besides for maybe more scammers on dating apps to scam men. I'm just joking, that's not good. That's more bad things. There's nothing good at all about this city whatsoever. Unless you're a gangster, terrorist, criminal, and you're here to join the terrorist groups that are destroying the place, which they're destroying the place fast. Look at all the graffiti. Look at all the drug addicts. Look at all the prostitutes. It's getting bad. It's getting so bad. Like I said, everybody who lives here wants to make it out. Now, I came here once with a couple friends on bikes, and maybe they kind of weren't really my friend, but they're kind of like my friend. I don't know if I'd classify. It don't matter. Anyways, I came here with some friends, and we were riding bikes, and we got to some point. I think it was like Lower Manhattan area, where everyone was just outside. It was just completely flooded with people. This was around like 9 in the morning, 10 in the morning, when everybody starts to first come out. That is the scariest fucking time to be in New York. Absolutely the scariest fucking time to be in New York, especially when you're a white boy from a small town on a bike. I was terrified. They all start coming out. They start looking at the bike. They start talking to you like they're your best friend, and you think it's great. You're like, oh, this is perfect. Like, this is what you come to a city for, to be around people. Smaller cities, you feel isolated. You go to a bar and there's like 2 people inside of it, and you're like, what the fuck? It's dead here. You go to a big city and it's full of people, they're all talking, and it's great. But then you realize something. You look around, you see the graffiti, you see the prostitution, you see the gangs, you see the homeless begging for money, you see these old rundown stores and commercial buildings, and it all looks abandoned, and it looks like people are squatting in it, and it doesn't look like a safe place at all. It does not look like a safe place at all. Now, it was for me, thank God. I don't know what it was. Those people maybe just weren't bad people that we were talking to, but they were acting really strange. The way they were so friendly. They were just too friendly. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're good people. I don't know. Maybe New Yorkers, maybe there are a lot of good New Yorkers out there. But from an outsider perspective looking in, they're all scammers, and they were trying to think up of a way to rob our bikes. And I could just feel it. I could just feel it in the back of my head, like. And we started getting weirded out, and we got out of there. I think they. Oh no! I think what ended up happening was we were trying to buy weed, and they couldn't get us any. They're like, oh, we don't know where to get that. They were all scared, paranoid. Maybe they thought we were gonna rat them out or something. They probably thought we were cops. So then they stopped talking to us. So I think that's what really saved us, actually. If we weren't looking for weed, they maybe would have robbed the shit out of us. Who knows? It's very possible. They would have taken our bikes. But because we look like a couple of feds, young feds in training, they let us ride on out. Well, I'm just realizing there's a lot of Italians in this area. Maybe that's what it was. Italians are just good people. But, when you look at the mafia, it don't matter how good people are. There's still a lot of evil out there. So, it's just not worth the risk to come here. You might think, oh, I could come and make friends. As soon as rush hour hits, people start coming outside and talking, and they do. They got nothing better to do. Imagine some guy lives in this apartment up here. He's mooching off the system. He doesn't work. And every day he's bored. What is he going to do? He's going to go outside. He's going to people watch. We could probably find somebody over here doing that right now, actually. Let's see. This looks like an illegal Asian squatter market. What the fuck? When I was looking on the map, it was like all Italian places. Now it's all Asian places. Fucking changed fast. It's just a nightmare. It's just a nightmare. Look around here. I mean, look at how many people there are. This is a random spot in the city. This is fucking terrifying. This is fucking absolutely terrifying. The fact they don't all kill each other is amazing. I'm astounded by that. Like, I did see a lot of cops. Like, there was a cop, like, at every corner, it felt like. Every busy corner, there was a cop. But still, like, it's astounding to think nobody kills anybody here. It's just like such a great, peaceful, happy place to live. Or at least that's what it feels like until you look a little bit closer. And you realize their traffic is just an absolute nightmare. You realize that their people are all prostituting. You realize that a lot of them are obese. You realize a lot of them are on hardcore drugs. A lot of them are homeless. And then you start to get the better picture painted in your head of what's really going on here. You see the graffiti. I mean, even on roofs. How do you even get up there? How the fuck do you even get up there? I'm imagining like that's some gangster, but you know what? That might have actually been like done by the building owner for all I know. I don't know. Who the fuck would do that? It doesn't look good. I'll tell you what. It does not look good. Maybe they thought it would look good. Jet 888? How do you even get up there, though? They got ladders? How do you even have a ladder in New York City? Like, I could barely even fit a couch into my house. These people are living in like one room per window over here. Look how tight that'd be. What the fuck? How the fuck do you get that up there? I mean, when you really look around this place, it is scary. It's terrifying. There are 30 million tourists that travel to New York City every day, and it doesn't make any sense. It makes me sick to my stomach. Utica could afford to take some of them tourists, you know. Utica, New York, you ever heard of that place? Utica would love to have some tourism. You know, as long as you motherfuckers don't graffiti everything. I don't know if that's New Yorkers doing that, or if that's tourists too, or if that's only tourists. For all I know, it could be just the tourists doing it. Maybe we don't want these fucking people coming to our city. I don't know, but I know one thing. New York is an unsafe place. There's nothing really to do in New York when you realize, you know, you can't get to the places where you could do stuff. So it's like there's nothing to do there. What are you going to do? Go to the casino? The closest casinos to New York are on the outskirts of New York. So they're like, let's say you got a hotel room right here, right? You're like, I want to go to the casino. That's like 3 hours away through heavy traffic, somewhere up here. Or the other one in Brooklyn area is like all the way down here somewhere. Let's say you want to go to the beach. Another 3 hours away. Let's say you want to go shopping at one of the best malls they got. I don't even know where that is. I never even looked at it on the map. I'm sure they got a really nice one somewhere. I probably should look that up when I'm done with this video, actually. That mall's probably super fun. Let's say you want to go to Times Square, right? Or Central Park. I went to both. I went to Times Square. Wasn't worth it. I got a $1 slice of pizza from Arabs. They're not even real Italian. They were really weird. The pizza wasn't even $1, actually. It was $2. Sorry, it said $1. But it was actually $2. I don't know where that is. I could probably find it for you, but Yeah, it's called 99-cent pizza. These people, I mean, for all I know, maybe they are Italian, but they don't look it at all. They don't sound it when they talk. Where is it? Fresh. Maybe it's gone. Oh no. I think this is it right here, yeah. I think. I remember being very close to Times Square. Yeah, maybe it was here. I don't know. Yeah, I think it was here, and then I parked right here. Pretty sure, yeah, I parked right there. And I left my cousin in the car. Ran in to grab some pizza. Wait a second. I don't think it was this place. Their restaurants just pop up and come and go, come and go, come and go. You never know what to expect in this place. Everything is different all the time. Everything changes super fast. People slam on their fucking brakes and don't give you any warning. And it's a miracle. It's a miracle that you're mature enough, responsible enough to stop on a dime when they do. I mean, look at this. How long do you think it took them to set up this thing? It's there one photo and it's gone the next. I mean, everything changes in New York so fast. You can't keep track of anything. It's like, what's the point of living in a city like that? It's like living in a dream. It's like living in a dream where every time I dream about, let's say I go to the casino, for an example, in my dreams a lot. Every time I go there, it looks different in my dreams. And in your dreams, it's alright because you don't feel lost. There's no sense of feeling lost, getting scared, having pain at all. I mean, maybe there is. I mean, sometimes you have nightmares, maybe. But I'm talking about in a dream, like a normal dream. There's no sense of anything like that at all. So, getting lost is okay. But getting lost in real life? That is terrifying. That is absolutely terrifying. Why anyone would want to go through that over and over and over and over again, I don't understand. Because you know these people get lost all the time. They constantly have to go on their phone, go on Google Maps, use the satellite to get them back to their home. Constantly. And no one helps anyone around here. So, like, if you're lost, you're like this Asian guy right here, and you're like, excuse me, ma'am, do you know where I am? She's got her headphones in, she's not talking to no one. No matter what you say. No matter what you say. But it's not even just them, it's other people too. Like, some guy will look you dead in the eye. Like, let's say this guy right here. He has no headphones in. Clearly, he could hear you. He'll look you dead in the eyes and walk right by you. That's how New Yorkers are. It's literally just like the movies or just like on TV. And the reason why it's like that is because, like I said on my dating app, every woman is a scammer pretty much. So people just automatically assume you're going to try to scam them. But in reality, you might actually just be lost. You might actually need advice that they know. This guy might actually know. If you ask him, where's 24 West Street? He might know exactly how to get there from here. But guess what? He's not going to be able to help you because even if you look like him, he's going to think you're another crackhead scammer. And if he thinks you're another crackhead scammer, he's not going to help you. And you might think the same about him. You might think he's pretty skinny. He might be a crackhead scammer too. Everyone in this photo might be. We don't know. She definitely looks like one right there. That almost reminds me of my Aunt Annie. And it just doesn't make sense to live like this. It really doesn't make any sense. They're so overcrowded. They're so overpopulated. It's just unbelievable. For what? I mean, what's the point of living like this? You say you like it because of... Most of the time people say they claim they love big cities because of the people. But when you see the people, they don't even talk to each other. They walk by each other. They scam each other on dating apps all the time. They are the most disgusting, worthless, evil people around. They are New Yorkers. Just like Utica New Yorkers, they're New Yorkers. All New Yorkers are the same. I've been to Florida, too, on dating apps, so I know all Floridians are the same. It's all over America. They're all trash. They're all addicted to hardcore drugs. They're all scammers. They're all no good. They all will walk by you while you're dying of thirst, begging for directions to the nearest restaurant. Which wouldn't ever happen because restaurants are everywhere. That was a bad example. But I mean, if you're in the middle of the woods on some trail 100 miles away from the closest city, and you ask for directions from these people, they wouldn't tell you because they're New Yorkers and they're city slickers. Now, New Yorkers out in the country, they're a little different. They might be more likely to help. Somebody with a Confederate flag on their property might be more likely to help a black man out, get directions, than, let's say, a black man in the city. And that's just because in the city, like I said, they're all trash. They're all overcrowded. They're all overpopulated. They're not spread out enough like they should be. Like, fucking 1/10 of them should be living in Utica, New York. Another 1/10 should be in Rome. The other 1/10 should be in Herkimer, Little Falls, Amsterdam. And another 1/10 should be in Albany. Another 1/10 should be in Little Falls. I mean, not Little Falls. I already said there. Watertown. You know, there's other cities you could live in. You don't all have to be overcrowded in a scammer city like New York. And that makes you wonder, what's the real reason they're all in New York? Like, drugs must be cheaper here. That's what it really is all about. It's gotta be drugs. Hardcore drugs are easier to transport by sea than it is by air. And that's just a fact. So you could transport drugs to any city, but it's cheaper to transport it to, let's say, Buffalo, Rochester, New York, cities in Florida. It's much easier to transport hardcore drugs to cities like those cities than it is to, let's say, transport it to Utica, because in Utica, you got to get the drugs past Americans, and these Americans might have dog sniffers on them. It makes it 10 times more difficult, and it's already difficult enough to get it over from air, because there's a lot of restrictions with airplanes. You know, they used to use airplanes to bomb buildings all the time without ever telling anybody. You could bomb half of America without telling people if you go back and past with a couple of jets. I mean, they would never know. They would never know. If you were able to go into a time machine, go back in time with a few jets, you could destroy half of America before they'd even find out what was going on. So flying is a little bit more restrictive. They have more protections. I believe they want to know what cargo you have. They might check it when you get into America. And that makes it nearly impossible for you to bring in drugs to, let's say, a city like Utica. without first bringing it to a city like New York. Anyways, I'm just giving theories about why New York is so much better than Utica when it's literally fallen off the map and is going to sink into the Atlantic Ocean soon. They are literally paying billions to trillions of dollars on trying to keep the city from not sinking into the ocean. It's going to be the great city of Atlantis soon. And people still live there. And people still go there on vacation. Even other New Yorkers from upstate are going there. And it doesn't make any sense. You think a guy like me would warn enough people, don't go there, it's unsafe, it's a horrible shithole. But no, what ends up happening is, let's say one of my old friends, some blonde girl, goes to New York City so she could buy cheaper ketamine. She ends up being a crack whore. She begs for money in a subway tunnel just to survive. This is something that happened to a woman I know in this area. Now, is she going to go around town, everybody, don't go, it's horrible, I was a crack whore? No, she's not going to tell anyone she was a crack whore, because guess what? She'll go to jail. Crack whores aren't going to tell you how bad their experience was. They could get raped, they could get shot, they could get stabbed, they could get scammed, they could get tortured, and they won't tell anyone. No one will know, and it'll keep happening to people because they don't tell anybody. So it'll just keep happening. More women will go, and more women will go, and more women will go, thinking, oh, I could get cheaper drugs. Yay! But they're not going to get cheaper drugs. They're going to end up getting pimped at the corner. They're going to end up begging for money in a tunnel. They're going to end up miserable. They're going to end up at a party where you have to scream just for somebody to hear you, and no one's going to remember what you said. Because there's so many fucking people there. Why would you want to live like that? Doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, for cheaper ketamine? For cheaper cocaine? That's why. That's why they do it. So besides for the beautiful sights of big buildings, I can't think of any reason why I would want to go to New York City. You can't find a woman. There's still all scammers there. You can't find friends. They'll try to steal your bike. They're all low-key scammers. They pretend to be your friend and then end up scamming you, stabbing you in the back. Happens all the time. They are snakes in the grass, literally. They graffiti everything. They chain up their bikes to your property. I mean, they'll chain up their bike to your car. I mean, I bet it happened before. I mean, that's how crazy these people are. So besides for the beautiful buildings, what is there? Absolutely nothing. There's nothing to do there at all. And from a small city perspective, it's got so much to do, and oh, it's so fun, and it's so great, and no, it's not. It's a hellhole. You don't want to go there. You are literally blessed by God if you make it out of there without a single fender bender. You are gifted by God, because so many people get into accidents. I mean, I'm joking right now. I mean, I'm over-exaggerating a lot. There's a lot of people who drive through New York City and don't get into any car accidents. Not everybody's that much of an idiot driver, but it just feels like they are. And it happens so much. It's too much. It doesn't make any sense. this could be why Trump is so upset. Because, he looks around and is like, this is my city. And it's being destroyed. They're graffitiing his stuff. They're raping his women, forcing them to scam his brothers and his people. I mean, it's total chaos. It's disgusting. It shouldn't be happening. I'm all for living in smaller cities and stuff, but you need big cities. You need big cities too. Because why not? Because we need to compete with the world. We need to be a world leader. We need to be a trade leader. So why not? You need big, giant, massive buildings. You need big, giant, massive cities. We could maybe even build a couple more in New York, to be honest. We could maybe make Buffalo and Albany bigger. Way bigger. And even have enough space to make Utica a little bigger as well. Maybe even Rome and Oneida and Little Falls and Watertown. Because we do have a lot of farm space, and we clearly have enough. We clearly have enough food. Between farmland and ocean fishing land, or not land, fishing space. We have a lot of space for food, so it's very believable. We could grow twice the size. We could grow twice the size and still have room for more. And instead, everything's falling apart. Giant mega cities are turning into smaller size cities like Buffalo, and smaller size cities like Buffalo are turning into Syracuse, and Syracuse is turning into Utica, and Utica is turning into Little Falls. And Little Falls, they're not going to call it a city soon. They're going to just say it's a town like it actually is. Because, guess what? It's a town. It's a tiny, little, insignificant town. Utica might be able to still be classified as a city, only because it was a city a few decades ago. You could say it's a city clinging on to life. But Little Falls, no longer is a city. I don't think it ever was a city. If they're not lying about the population size, at one time the largest population was 30,000. I think it could have been even more than that. Especially when you realize a lot of people don't participate in the census, and even more people are illegals. So it's very likely that Little Falls could have even had 100,000 population as well, like Utica did at one time. They had even more infrastructure that's all gone rotten and burnt down or blown up. So maybe, I don't know for sure, but that's what we're heading towards. New York City's turning into Buffalo. Buffalo's turning into Syracuse. Syracuse is turning into Utica. Utica's turning into Little Falls. Anyways, let me get back on topic. So, can I think of other reasons not to visit this shithole? Let's see. What have we talked about so far? Let's see. It's sinking into the ocean. At any time, it could just cause a giant, massive earthquake, sink into the ocean, cause a mega tsunami, and kill millions of people. There's that. There is gangs, graffiti, litter, drugs. Now, I mean, that's everywhere. But it's so much worse in New York. There's so much. It's more concentrated. It's way worse. Then there is, what else? Traffic. Traffic is its own thing. Definitely its own thing. Traffic is so fucking bad. Traffic is so fucking bad that when rush hour hits, you have a panic attack and you hope to God you can make it to the nearest gas station to refill, because by the time you get through that heavy bit of traffic, there'll be more heavy bit of traffic, and you'll already have been waiting for 2-3 hours in traffic, just waiting to get through. Maybe I might be over exaggerating by an hour or two. It's still really, really bad. You're gonna wait an hour. You're gonna wait an hour in traffic, like guaranteed. It's hell. It's hell. It's traffic hell. It's a traffic nightmare. I don't know how people do it. I feel bad for people who live here. Like, I honestly, especially the cops, I feel the worst for the police. Imagine trying to protect and serve in this fucking shithole. You got terrorists, you got bikers, you got other gangs, you got mafias, you got cartels, you got psychopaths, you got idiots that break laws accidentally. You got all of this in a giant concrete jungle. It's fucking chaos. And it's not like there's cameras at every corner. There are a lot of cameras, and that's great. That helps out a lot. That deters a lot of crime. That helps solve a lot of crime. But it's still so bad. It's just, I can't imagine trying to investigate stuff here. Like, when I'm in Utica investigating stuff, like, let's say if I'm in a city block, I go to, like, let's say I go to West Street over on Johnson Park, and I investigate this area. It's so simple. It's so simple. The homes are small. When I go to search them, I get the address. I go to truepeoplesearch.com. If I was a cop, I would maybe be doing it all on a registry or whatever you guys have. I don't know if that's even legal to do. But if it's an investigation, I could claim it's an investigation. I could say, I'm trying to figure out why there's so many empty lots over here. Trying to figure out if it's crime related or not. And I'd be trying to figure out what's up with these empty lots, who lived here, what the hell's their story. Trying to get down to the bottom of it all. Trying to catch all the drug dealers and all the gangsters that used to live in this area or still do. To try to fucking get down to the bottom of it. To investigate. To do the research and everything. To get stuff done. I look at it from that perspective, like, where I try to figure out what happened to my community, and every now and again I'll try to search people up on Facebook to see who the fuck used to live at this abandoned lot, or who used to live at this abandoned lot, and why are these homes abandoned? Like, who are these people that used to live here? Like, straight up white trash hillbillies that have no teeth and have like 40 kids? Who used to live in these places? It makes you wonder. Oh, another building burnt down. This whole block is gonna end up burning down, probably. I don't know who's starting these fires, but anyways. So, what was I getting at here? Oh, yeah. It's easy to investigate in Utica. Like, it's not easy. It's still a lot of work. Like, our investigators are great people that work very hard. They do a lot of good work. But when you compare their work to New York City work, these guys do nothing. Like, it is so simple. This is easy shit. Like, you could search up this whole block, find every single person that ever used to live here, all on Facebook. If they had accounts. If they all had accounts. You could do it all within maybe a few days. In New York City, if you try to get down to the bottom of what happened on a block, let's say this block right here is like absolute hellhole, and let's say there's terrorists here, and you're trying to figure out what the hell's going on, you start researching people over here, just this one block alone is like 5 of the blocks we were just looking at Utica. At least 5, maybe 10. you might not be able to see all these people in a lifetime. An entire lifetime of searching on Facebook. Just this one block alone. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I'm not even going to try. I wouldn't even look up one address. It's not worth it to me. Who would want to live like that? I certainly wouldn't want to live like that. I feel bad for anybody who lives like this. I pity them. Honestly. I thought living in Utica was hell at one point. I was like, man, I wish I lived in New York. I'd be able to find a woman easier. But no, you can't. It's even worse in New York. The only women you're going to get in New York are prostitutes. Your dating app constantly will be filled with scammers trying to scam you. It'll get so bad that a starving child on the street will be like, please, sir, please, can I have $1? And you'll walk right by him because you'll be like, that's another scam. And you'll see he's starving. Like, he'll really be, like, bleeding and everything. And you'll walk right by him and he'll die on that street corner because you're just so used to scammers. You automatically assume it's gotta be a scammer. Every single time. That's what you'll think. Gotta be another scammer. Gotta be another scammer. Gotta be another scammer. Some lesbian gets stabbed by a man out in the streets. Gotta be a scam. Walk right by her. Let her bleed out to death. Because it's gotta be a scam. It's gotta be. I saw some heroin addict in Central Park. He looked dead. I walked up to him. I shook his leg. I was like, hey, hey. Didn't move at all. I think it was right here. Wait. No, that's ice skating rink. It was... I'd like to find this place, actually. It was on a rock. Which, by the way, did people know there was, like, rocks in Central Park? It's like, they're like mountaintops. Like, was this a mountain at one time? How the hell did they get rocks like that? Anyways, was it here? It was near a playground on a rock. I think it was... They don't show the playgrounds where they're at. I think it was like... I thought it was like over here for some reason. Maybe it was up more. This fucking place is so big. You can't even find where you were on the map. Why would you want to come here? Like, I have no idea where I even was. I saw a guy dead in this park. And I don't even know where it was. I mean, that's how big this park is. Wow. You'd think that's something I would remember. Like, you'd think I would be able to spot it. Like, right here is where I saw that dead man. But nah. It's just so... You know, it might have been right here. I think it was. Because I remember a big playground, and then there's a big rock formation in the distance, and he was like right here. He was like right here. Oh, is that people right there? That might actually be like a spot where they hang out. Fucking probably pedos. Probably pedos. Look at yeah, they're all laying up here. A bunch of pedos. This is a pedo spot. But, the guy must have OD'd. He probably was sad he couldn't rape any kids, so he OD'd on heroin. And I saw him. He was dead. He was, like, right... I think he was... Let's see. I remember looking over and seeing the park. seeing the rock formation, and he was like right over here. He probably was like right somewhere over here. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Anyways, so that's something to just expect. You're gonna see people dead out in the streets, and people will just walk right over their dead body. Like, I didn't know what to do. I just walked on by. I was just like, he's dead, I don't know what to do. I wasn't sure what to do. I think he was dead. I don't even know if he was dead. So I didn't know what to do. That guy could still be there. He could actually be skull and bones right now. And there are wild dogs in this park too, so it's very possible the wild dogs would have cleaned up the mess. You know what? I think it was here actually. Is this a playground? It says playground. It don't look like it. It might have been over here. Because I remember it was like south. Pretty sure it was south, the dead body. I think it was right here actually. Let's see. Yeah. I think he was on the rock too. I think he was laying like directly on the rock. Is that a hangout spot right there? They're all hangout spots. Yeah, that might actually be him. But yeah, I saw this little guy that looked like that. Yep, this is a hangout spot. Why do they hang out near, playgrounds? I want to know what caused this rock. Did the Japanese nuke us? What caused the rock formation in Central Park? Was it always there? Why didn't they tell me about that in school? You'd think that's something they would mention. Like, oh yeah, Central Park has a bunch of rock formations. Cool. What caused Central Park's rock formation? Central Park's rock formations are largely a result of ancient bedrock and glacier activity. Okay, so that's been there for a long time. Bedrock, including Manhattan system. How did it not get covered by trees? What the fuck? Central Park sits on top of ancient bedrock, including Manhattan cyst and gneiss, which began to form around 450 million years ago. These rocks were once soft mud on an ancient seafloor. Wow, that's scary. That is terrifying. Holy shit, if you've ever felt small, all you gotta do, if you want to feel smaller, is read shit like this. 450 million years ago. There, now you feel tiny. You don't have to go to New York now and feel small in a giant city. You could just read that. You'll feel really tiny. Holy shit. You know what? New York doesn't seem so big after all, after reading that. 450 million years ago, their rock formation was made in Manhattan. That is insane. And we're all just now figuring it out. Because no one's going to tell you about it. Because no one gives a shit. Isn't that fucking amazing? Somebody like to damage the rock. They're like, fuck New York. some people don't even like the formation. They're like, it's stupid. They could flatten that out and put another playground in. Everything here was man-made. Rocks and ice shape, New York Central Park. The lakes were man-made. Rocks and ice shaped. What? See, that's what I thought could be possible. It was all man-made, because it's completely flat. How do you get ancient rock formations off of a flat land? Come on. That don't make sense. Why would they put that there, though? That's what I don't get. Who's like thinking, oh, instead of having bushes here, we could put rocks. That's what I don't get. And how would they afford or justify? I can't even imagine them putting it there, though. That's the hardest part. Like, they would have had to use some special chemicals to make the rock look like it's all one big giant boulder. When in reality, they could have just... No, I don't think that. That's definitely not what happened, because they said this is ancient rock formation. So whatever I just read in that other article, that was bullshit. It ain't all man-made. How the fuck can you make this? Come on. How could a human make this? It's impossible. What would they be hiding underneath it? Nothing. I just realized I'm still recording. Holy shit. So, do I have anything else to say before I end the video? Don't travel to New York. It's a shithole. You're better off going there on YouTube or Google. If you're so curious about the place, if you want to explore, you can explore everything online pretty much. Because these people are all attention whore scammers, and they will do anything to get a click online. So that means taking photos of everything. You could probably find photos of a mob boss hit, a guy shooting up heroin, a super rich person eating food. I mean, you could find anything. You could probably find anything in New York. So there's no point of actually going there. You could just search it up. You don't have to actually go there. If you're curious, what does Central Park look like? Once you go there on Google Maps, see the street view, you'll see it's not a safe place. There's wild dogs running around. There's bums hanging out on rocks. There's people ODing on drugs. There's kids trying to enjoy themselves at the playground. They don't need more people getting in their fucking way. The traffic is heavy enough. It's not a place you should go. There's no point of going. You want to go to the zoo? You know, Rochester has a zoo. Syracuse has a zoo. Utica has a zoo. There's other places you could go too. You don't have to go to New York City. It's a shithole. It's not fun. There's no point of being there. Even if you have family there. They're probably all scammer crackheads anyways. I know I got a lot of Italian family that are probably living in that area. I know I got a lot of Italian family living in this area. And a few of them are like that. And the ones that aren't, they're all too busy with their own lives. And it's just, if you're in a busy, overcrowded city, it makes it 10 times worse. There's no point of going there. I feel bad, now I'm thinking about it. My own family, some of them are married to New Yorkers, and they visit New York all the time, and I feel bad to say it, but they're risking their ass every time they go there. For what? For something that could have been settled over a phone call? Like let's say a family visit. You could call them. You go on video chat and call them. You could sit there and chat for hours. You don't have to go there in person. It's kind of like going into a lion's den to get a piece of meat. Like you could go hunt yourself. You don't have to be. I mean, this may be a bad example, but you don't have to be lazy in this case. You could go hunt yourself. You're risking your ass for something that's going to make you feel good. In this case, the meat is like family, visiting family. You're hungry, you want to go get a piece of meat. But there's other ways to do it. Instead of going to the lion's den, which would be compared to going to New York City, you could get your own meat, which would be compared to like a video chat, video calling them. Shows them you care. You still get to talk to them. You still get to see them. Can't hug them or eat their food, but you don't risk car accidents. You don't risk getting mugged. You don't risk getting drugged. You don't risk getting beat up. You don't risk any of that. It's just not worth it. It's like how I view hiking in the woods. Some people really think they gotta go hiking in the woods. They're like, I gotta do it. It's fun. I gotta try it. This is maybe something New Yorkers could agree with me on. Once you realize how dangerous the woods are, you never want to go back. The same thing could be said about New York City. The same exact thing. Once you realize just how dangerous it is, it don't matter what you have there to make you want to stay. What is it? Drugs, women, food, sights. All of that could be compared to, let's say, going in the woods, going out in the country. You can get all of that out in the country. The same thing people say about New York City, this is the same thing they say about being out in the country. They'll say that's where all the women are, that's where all the fun is, that's where all the freedom is. Or it's the same shit. Both are very incredibly dangerous. Both have beautiful sights to be seen. Both have women that end up on dating apps to scam men. Both have food. One just has more food, more different varieties of food. I mean, like, it's pretty much kind of like the same thing. It's like going into bear-infested woods and saying you're fine because you got bear mace. It's like going into gangster-infested neighborhoods saying you're fine because you have a phone to call 911. It's not safe. It's not smart. Doesn't sound good. After thinking about how fast a bear really is, a bear can outrun a car. A bear can travel 50-something miles per hour top speed. Last I read, I think it said actually 30-something, but then I read somewhere else it said 50-something, so I'm going with 50-something. I'm thinking they could probably max out around 50. The really big giant one could get about 50 maybe. That is super fast. That's faster than an electric bike. So, to go out in those woods is risking getting attacked by this creature. And if you have no gun, you are completely at risk. And when it comes to New York City, you don't just need a gun, you need money. Because it costs a lot. Wear and tear on cars, hotel rooms, food even costs more in bigger cities, I noticed. What else? Drugs are cheaper, but that's the only thing. Drugs are always cheaper in the bigger cities. Like I said earlier in the video, that's probably why people live in the bigger cities. What else can I say? It's just dangerous. It's just a dangerous, fucking shitty place to be, and I don't suggest anybody to go there, and I'm gonna end the video on that.